This is RebeccaVia, Communications 101.
I did. I got my head.
As we all know, every parent has their own way of disciplining their children. Some think certain ways are better than others, while other parents might totally disagree with what they think. My husband and I totally disagree on disciplining our children. I believe there are other ways to discipline than to spank. He thinks spanking's okay. I'm not sure about, he doesn't think the belt is okay, but he thinks that spanking with your hand is okay and it teaches them not to do it again. I totally disagree. Spanking causes them to be violent when they become teenagers and adults. It interferes with the bond between parents and the child, and it causes physical issues. Working in child care for 2 years, I got to watch the children be disciplined, and when we did, they were not allowed to be spanked. We had to put them in timeout to let them be calmed down, and we had to discuss with them when they were done what they did and how to correct their actions the next time that they're in that situation. If they're a toddler, you just put them in timeout, let them sit there and calm down, and then you basically let them go and turn them to something else so they're not fighting over whatever they were fighting over or doing what they were doing. If they're older, you would have to tell them what they did wrong, and the whole point is to show them right from wrong and show them what to do next time, and not to frighten them by spanking them or hitting them. If they're old enough, you want them to be able to tell you what they did and why they did it and what they can do better next time, so that they don't do it again. They got to understand what was wrong to begin with. If the child, for example, threw a toy, then you would tell them that they could really hurt someone, or they could bruise them or cut them open, or you could break the toy. They don't deserve to be hit for any reason. And I have read many books on disciplining, and I found many ways to do it without spanking. My husband was spanked as a kid, and he thinks it worked on him, but I think it just made him more frustrated and have a worse temper as he got older as an adult, because he spanks our child now, our 4-year-old, and in the end our child is just scared of him. He doesn't actually understand why he's being spanked, because he doesn't talk to him about why he was in trouble. He just gets mad and he spanks him, and he gets scared. There's times that he'll go to work and he'll come home and he'll run and hide because he's scared that Daddy's going to spank him. He's too worried about getting spanked that he doesn't worry about what he did in the first place, and that's the whole part of discipline, is to learn what you did and how to correct it. I think there are better ways to handle the situation. Spanking causes more problems than actually fixing the discipline issue. Spanking causes violent behavior in the future. Hitting and spanking teaches a child to become hitters themselves. Extensive research data shows that the most dangerous criminals were regularly threatened and punished as children. And because children learn from their parents, the physical punishment gives them the message that hitting is okay, and that's a good way to express their feelings and to solve their problems, and really it's not. It can also interfere with the bond between a parent and a child. A child will cooperate when there's a strong bond based on love and respect. Spanking causes a child to be angry and frustrated and store his feelings inside and be angry, and that can lead into adulthood and still be angry. Spanking reinforces negative memories in their mind of when they were a child, and you want to remember happy times when you grow up, not all the bad. Spanking can also cause physical problems. Blows to the lower end of the spine may cause nerve damage, where a child can become paralyzed. And children have died from being hit from a paddle due to undiagnosed medical complications. Now I will talk about how we should end spanking and what should happen in its place. I believe spanking should be illegal and other forms of discipline should be used. It should be illegal if a person is caught, they should have their kids taken away. They should be fined for it and they should have it on their record as abuse. Other ways of discipline should be used. Be creative. For example, Holt and Ketterman said, if a child was supposed to do a chore outside, you would get them up and take them outside when it's dark and colder out and make them do it then. They would get the point across to be more responsible, and they will know that they need to do it when it's warm and daylight out, and they won't have to do that again. If a child breaks a toy, have them fix it, or at least try to fix it. And if they make a mess, they need to clean it up every time they do this. And eventually they'll become more careful, and that's the whole point of discipline. When a child is young, they should have time out, mainly to calm down. Then you can talk to them and reason with them. A child who is a toddler wouldn't even understand your thoughts behind spanking them. They would probably just think you're being mean and don't love them. An older child wouldn't get anything out of it either. They would get more out of you explaining why they were wrong and trying to teach them how to correct what they did so they don't do it again. I encourage all of you parents who spank to go home and try for a while not to spank. Try other methods of discipline. Try time out. Put them in a room or in a playpen. If they won't stay in a room, put a hook and eye latch on the bedroom door. You lose the effect of them staying in time out and being alone if you're playing tug of war with the doorknob the whole time. And this lets them know that they need to be alone and to be able to think and calm down. If a child is under 2, just put them in a playpen. That way they're by themselves and they're confined and they know they can't get up and do something. For an older child, if they break something, give them extra chores. Make him or her pay you back by working it off. They learn they're responsible for what they did, and it gives the parent the opportunity to forgive and praise the child for correcting what they did by paying them back. If a child is misusing a toy, then just take it away from them. Now that we have talked about other ways of disciplining a child, hopefully you will think twice next time you think about spanking your child. Children are our world's future, and we as parents shape them into what they will be as adults. We want them to be the best human beings they possibly can. The word discipline means training to improve strength or self-control, active punishing, and the trait of being well-behaved. Spanking only teaches a child to be afraid, while teaching a child discipline by talking and working with them on things they do wrong is what we need to be doing. We need to help them become great people. This world is full of mean and hateful people thinking that violence solves problems when all it does is create more problems and leads to murders and suicides. Why should parents want to teach a child that violence solves problems? Spanking can lead to a child to be angry, frustrated, mean, or suicidal, and that can continue into adulthood. We need to make this world a better place without violence, and ending spanking is a great way to start.